Hello class, this is Professor Ferguson and this is International Business 113, and we're going to talk about some of the elements of the Week 3 discussion on the political and legal environments facing business in the world today. Every country has its own political and legal environment, and businesses must strive to understand those before they can effectively enter a new market outside their host country. Companies must determine when, where, and how to adjust their business practices without undermining the basic successes of their own business. The political and legal factors that influence business and the business policies of the legal system are designed specifically and affected by the role of government in society, political ideology, the political risk, legal environment, and operation and strategic legal issues. These all drive decisions that we have to make as far as the way we deal with the legal environment that we're going to operate within. And all of them influence our objectives and strategies as a company. Managers must evaluate, monitor, and forecast political environments. We can't just simply let it happen. We have to be familiar and effective in determining what we believe the impact of the political system we're going to enter is going to have on our business strategy. Countries' political systems refers to the structural dimensions and power dimensions of that government and the specific institutions, organizations, and interest groups as defined by the norms of that governmental political activity. They tend to go between the extremes of individualism and collectivism. Individualism primarily is drives that the rights and roles of the individual are paramount, where collectivism primarily is based on the rights and roles of community. In most countries, you'll see a variance in the laws that cover those extremes, but the dominance within the culture can be one way or the other. Political ideology stipulates how the society ought to function and outlines the method by which they do so. So most modern societies are pluralistic. Different groups champion specific political ideologies, such here in the United States. We have the Republican, Democratic, or the Independents, or the Libertarian parties that try to influence public policy. And then in Japan, for example, you have the Democratic Party and the Liberal parties that are doing the same thing. Political spectrum outlines the variety of forms of political ideology. Political freedom involves the degree to which fair and competitive elections occur, the extent to which individuals and group freedoms are guaranteed, the legitimacy of general rule of law, and the freedom of expression. These are all elements that we evaluate when we're trying to determine the type of system that we're going to enter into and the freedom of operation. And this is a chart from your textbook that kind of shows the extremes from totalitarianism to democracy. And it shows the various forms of governmental format. And you can see the green side is primarily democratic representative form governments, the blue being autocratic governmental organizations. In democracies, all citizens are politically and legally equal. All are equally entitled to the freedom of thought, opinion, beliefs, speech, and association, and all equally command sovereign power over public officials. Predominant types of democratic include representative, multi-party, parliamentarian, and social. Totalitarian involves associating with individuals to the interest of the collective. Dissent is eliminated through indoctrination, procession, surveillance, propaganda, censorship, and violence. So these are the methodologies that are used to drive collectivism. Primary types of totalitarian include authoritarianism, fascism, secular, and theocratic or religious type organizations. Standard freedoms, Freedom House, the Independence Watchdog organization, assesses political and civil freedoms around the world. That's Freedom House. Freedom House recognizes three types of political systems: free, partly free, and not free. This map represents, from your textbook, represents those three different forms, from green being the free, to purple being the not free, and the yellow being the partially free. And it just gives you an idea of the structure of the world today. The third wave of democracy is in the textbook, talks about the fact that we've seen three different periods in history where we've seen democracy expand in the world. The number of democracies in the last 2 decades has doubled. The failure of totalitarian regimes to deliver economic progress, such as the Soviet Union, have led to a reintroduction of civil rights, improving communication techniques, and such as the internet and emails have made it possible for dissenting groups just to be able to find out what's going on in the rest of the world. Economic division of increasing political freedom are all elements that have helped to drive a resurgence in democracy.